Yo, so OnePiece Chapter 1074 did drop yesterday. It is out on some Diana Ross and yo, by the end of it, it'll have you feeling like Leo DiCaprio at the end of Sutter Island. Real crazy. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and drop a like on the video. Yo, we just hit 150 subs on the channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Let's keep this train going. Let's get to 200 subs and let's get straight into it.
Hey, listen!
Yeah, so the chapter picks up with Egghead Island, and on Egghead Island, the regular fodder members of CP0 are actually in the middle of a fight with a pacifista. It takes a little bit of them going back and forth to realize they can't hurt it because it has a bubble shield upgrade, a bubble shield that Vegapunk gave it. So then they realize this isn't no normal pacifista. This is a pacifista Mark III. It's a special pacifista that was made for combat. So in the back of their heads, they're thinking, well, if Lucci and Haku have controlled the situation up there, who possibly could have given this pacifista the order to attack us? From here, we cut further into Fabio and we realize Sentomaru, he's regained consciousness. He's in bad shape, but he has definitely regained consciousness, and he's trying to think of where Vegapunk is, if he made the right decision to leave the Marines and of course put Vegapunk in Luffy's hands. Little does he know that Vegapunk has disappeared, so maybe it wasn't the best idea. But we see that Sentomaru was actually the one that sent not just one Mark III, all the Mark IIIs to defend Vegapunk. Their mission is to get Vegapunk off the island safely. From here, we actually cut to the Labo phase, and we see that Luffy's actually tired. I mean, he fought Lucci in Gear 5th. He's been running around looking for Bonnie and Vegapunk, and he's just tired. And Chopper even makes the comment here that he broke his hover boots, so he's been basically running like normal. But Shaka actually gives them the bad news here that Bonnie and Vegapunk are missing. Actually, to clarify, he says that Bonnie is here in the lab phase. However, Stella, old man Vegapunk, is not here. From here, we get a huge spread of the entire group that Shaka is talking to, and that is of course all of the Straw Hats and all of the Vegapunk bodies. Even Zoro, Brook, and Stussy is here, and I'm not even gonna comment on Zoro's outfit. Oda, please stop it. But Shaka goes on to explain that there are two occurrences happening at this moment in time. The first one is that the main body Stella is missing, like we mentioned before. The second one is that the Frontier Dome isn't working properly. So basically, they have to stay inside the lab phase, because if they try to leave the lab phase, they're gonna be attacked by lasers mercilessly. And I'm assuming these lasers are the exact same lasers that Vegapunk put in the pacifista, which were derived from Kizaru's devil fruit. So yeah, they should probably stay put. And Shaka goes on to explain that he really can't see why all this stuff is happening. He can't find Vegapunk. He can't see who messed with the Frontier Dome, because the camera snails that are placed all over the lab phase, they either moved or they went into shock from all the fighting, all the noise that was happening. It just shows us that, yeah, we kind of take the transponder snails and the camera snails and the surveillance snails all for granted. They are actual living things. So just as a reminder, those snails are alive. So the Straw Hats decide that they're actually gonna go look for Vegapunk, except Zoro, of course. They're all like, no, Zoro, maybe you should just stay behind, because we're gonna end up looking for you at the rate that you get lost. So it's decided that everybody's gonna go look for Vegapunk, but Luffy and Zoro, they're gonna stay behind to overlook Lucci and Kaku. I've never seen a more clear setup for a fight in my life. And to be honest, if you see the next panel where they cut to Rob Lucci's face, he's still got this grimace on it, and to be honest, it looks like he could wake up at any moment. It doesn't even look like he's sleeping. But from here, we cut to the NICU room, or the paw room, and we see what just happened a couple moments ago, where baby Vegapunk is telling Bonnie to not touch the floating paw in the middle of the room. And she tells him to shut up. She either smacks him or tosses him, which, Bonnie, that is a big no-no. You can't toss and smack infant children, even if he is really an old man. But we see that Bonnie gets sucked into it somehow. She's in a grass field and she sees a kid crying on the floor, and she realizes this isn't just any kid. This is Kuma as a little kid, and he's being bullied by, I presume, other kids. And they're actually telling him that if he doesn't come with them, they're all gonna get killed. So they seem to be in some sort of terrible situation. This seems to be possibly a really poor country, and Bonnie tries to rush to his aid, but they can't see her. So this is basically just a memory that Kuma had as a kid, and it's super painful. They're beating him up, he's bloody, and Bonnie basically has to witness her own father getting beat up as a little kid. And to be honest, even the guys that are beating him up start to feel sorry. Before we can even see its conclusion, Bonnie tosses herself back out of the memory world, and she realizes, like, this is just way too intense. I'm sure she's gonna get back up and go back inside it, but before we get to see that, we cut to Kuma, the real Kuma, and he's still trying to climb the red line. Of course, the Marines are still pursuing him. They're still trying to shoot him down, but he is on a mission climbing the red line. From here, briefly, we cut to the lab phase, and Pythagoras is investigating what's happening with the Frontier Dome, and he's saying, well, it's really weird, but at least it's going down in a really flashy way, right? And before he can realize it, something approaches him from behind, and then the bridge that he's on completely explodes. So we don't know if Pythagoras even survived this explosion. I'm gonna assume he did, but somehow Pythagoras was targeted, and now his status is unknown. From here, we actually cut to the world economic news. Of course, you know that inside this ship is Big News Morgans, and of course, he's excited. He just got the biggest scoop ever, which is that the world government is trying to carry out an assassination on Vegapunk, and he deems it as basically O'Hara 2.0. And he's super excited about this. He's telling his journalists to say, hey, I got the story. The story is one of the four emperors, Straw Hat, has taken Vegapunk hostage, also waged war on the Marines. And come on, we know this is a lie. He knows it's a lie, but it does make for a pretty huge story. And to be honest, if a story like this really hit the public, Luffy would probably be like Yonko #1. Because Blackbeard isn't even doing stuff like this, right? But directly after that, we cut to a panel of none other than Vivi and Wapol. And Vivi is safe. She's safe, and she's a little pissed off at Morgans for coming up with fake headlines. She's saying this is why she hates the World Economic newspaper, because it's all fake. It's all just stuff that Morgan makes up. So she's definitely alive. She's safe. And Wapol here, he is terrified. He's telling Vivi, yo, keep your voice down. Watch your voice. There's probably a spy transponder snail somewhere on the ship. And we know this is definitely a possibility. They've even invaded Morgan's ship before. So the world government and Morgan's aren't on necessarily good terms. So Wapol's definitely in the right to be skeptical here. And Morgan responds by basically telling her to piss off. He says, hey girl, you've been crying up until yesterday, presumably because Cobra was dead. But don't tell me how to do my job. All right, I'm gonna rile up the world because the newspaper isn't about the truth, it's about entertainment. End of the chapter. Yo, this chapter was wild because it started off as just really a plain Jane setup chapter. Like, we got updates on what's happening on Egghead Island, but by the end of it, yo, the twist with Vivi and Morgans and Wapol, yo, this is huge. This is why I said it had a Sutter Island kind of ending, because it kind of makes makes you feel crazy. Like, when did we get here? And when's the last time we talked about Vivi? Was it a long time ago? Was it recent? Like, it just makes you feel so weird. But let me know down below what you think about the chapter. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it somewhere in between? Get in the comment section. Let me know. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell, guys. We are on our way to 200 subscribers now, so this is so awesome. Make sure you hit that sub button. Stay safe. Stay healthy. This has been your boy, Seafood That Guy, speaking, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.